do it. Let's do it. Sure. Hey, what's up, you guys? G here. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys had a great holiday. Is this thing live? Are we working? Gotta make sure it's live real quick. Yeah, today we're gonna, because it says here error, so let me make sure this is working really quick. I'm gonna check on the backup account. No, it doesn't say but does it work? Are we live, brother? Are we live? Let me see. Yeah, it looks like we're live. Okay, great. How's everyone doing though? My name is G. Today we're gonna talk about Polestar. I haven't done a video on this one in a while. I've covered it a little bit individually while I do some of the other live streams. We've been talking just basically options and individual stocks and stuff, but this is definitely a one that we've covered on the channel before. So I wanted to get back and just, I've had some emails and some DMs asking to do an update on this one. So let's just talk about it, see what's been up with it. I have been following it. I just haven't done a video, so apologies on that. But if you guys, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see on the channel, and hit the like button for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. But today we've had a pretty rough day. So I was just looking at the stock price today, down almost 14%. So I just want to go over what's going on with that and then also take a look at the chart. And there is one or two things that I do like, came out like a week or two ago, and then something that came out I think today or yesterday. So I just want to do all that today. And yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, help me out and hit the like button for me and we'll get started. So the reason we are down almost 14% is actually related to China. So over the weekend we had a China, I would say like just some unease, some unrest, and so basically Chinese, they basically are still doing lockdowns, right? So we're near 2023 and China is basically like a dictatorship, or it's run by one person, so or kind of like that, right? And so this is kind of just showing his power over people. I don't think that's right, but basically they're keeping these lockdowns on the country, and the reason this I guess affects, it's just people deserve to go out. It's been like 2 or 3 years and people are still being suppressed, and yeah, it's just not right. So that's on the like a ethical side, but also China is the biggest manufacturing, or the second or the first, I'm not sure, world's biggest manufacturing nation. And that's just going to add more uncertainty, volatility in the market economy. And yeah, so that's one of the main reasons, aside from energy and inflation, right? So just a lot of stuff piling up, a lot of negative catalysts. But just having that Chinese name attached to Polestar is not a good thing. So if you probably can just look at some of the other Chinese stocks, and they actually went up and then they started selling off the rest of the day. So that's basically the main thing. But just protests are building up, severe pandemic restrictions in China, world's second largest economy. So I think these are the only one of the few economies that are still doing lockdowns and stuff. It's just it's just, I don't get it, right? Is it just Xi Jinping doing it just to show he has control of the country, or what? I'm not sure why he does it, right? And the reason I think that they're the protests aren't going to do anything right now in the short term. I think they're going to keep the lockdowns, because if they do allow the protest and China removes the restrictions and stuff, that would basically show them that we can get things done through protests and stuff, and it would show weakness to the government. So they probably will lift the lockdowns, but they don't want to make it come off like the protests were working, right? Because then you just do that for anything else, right? And then it would just make the government look weak. So I do think the restrictions will probably get lifted. It just doesn't make sense. But basically, or surprisingly, there's still cases going up and all that. I'm not sure if it's just FUD or if it's just the media, but that's what they're saying. There's more cases going up, so they're locking down China. And so a lot of people are concerned about just supply chains and disruptions and all that. And so that is one of the reasons. Well, we can talk about Polestar in just a sec, but yeah, that's one of the reasons. So protesters, Shanghai, this is not the right one, but okay, here we go. Right here. So unrest came in as infection surge, prompting more local COVID controls, central government policy changes earlier this month. Again, just showing that there's infections going up and they're trying to control the thing. They're just trying to keep everything locked down. And so over time, I think the unrest and stuff, they just, you kind of retaliate because I don't think it's right. And it's also, whatchamacallit, it's just not right. And people want to go out and it's like, isn't China the only one that's doing it? So that is why Polestar is down, because Polestar 2 right now is manufactured in China. And also I was reading Polestar 3 is going to be manufactured in the US, but I think not till like the second year. So that was actually unfortunate news too. It was kind of sad. So even though we, initially we got this optimism like, okay, China and Polestar, they're going to start, detaching themselves. Well, I was reading, I'm not sure if I have the article, but it looks, I think the first year production will be of the Polestar 3, which is the next model, will be in China still. So I might be able to find that article actually, but we'll dig through that in just a bit. Just want to go through some of this stuff. So Polestar 2 is manufactured in China. Then the new, protests in countries could slow down production of the EVs that it already has. Okay, no, I'm not sure what that means, but basically, everything summarizing what I said. China maintains zero policy, and then that's causing some investor worry as Polestar could experience more production slowdowns in the country. I don't know if that's gonna affect Polestar too much, just because, well, it could, I guess, but they've already got their goals and they've already got all their vehicles done. From the earnings report that I read, or one of their press release, they've already got all their vehicles done. They just haven't shipped them out. So I don't really know if this will actually impact production for Polestar. It might do outlooks or, next year numbers and stuff. But as far as getting, this next quarter and getting those targets and at least physical the full year 2022 numbers, I think those are pretty much locked down, and they just kind of get those shipped out. So that's good. I don't think personally Polestar is affected by the productions for this year, maybe down for next year's numbers, but yeah, like I said, it's just gonna come with that. Polestar comes with that China tag, so that's one of the reasons it just brought everything down. I haven't read much further down here, but we can dig into this. Yeah, we did get the results in November 11th. Those were pretty good. They had like the one-time, listing fee, which really sucked and stuff, but I think they provided a positive earnings per share. Experienced delays and disruptions from that and the prolonged mandated quarantines and lockdowns in eastern China. So yeah, there's like is it Chengdu, China? Is like, yeah, a lot of Polestars are done in China. So, well, all the Polestars are done in China right now, but that's basically very critical. Delayed production and delivery for Polestar 2 in the Q3, but they still did. They beat their numbers. They basically reaffirmed their deliveries for this year. Yeah, it lost eight weeks of production during the quarter, but then I think they added an extra shift and stuff, and that helped some of that as well. See, this is the main thing though right here. With the new protests, investors expecting the more time could be lost. I think that's definitely true, but like I said, I think it'll probably affect the year after. And also they could, run that double shift stuff or just adjust, just that's what good companies do. Yeah, and then Apple as well started falling because they're same thing, production, Foxconn and everything. So it's not just Polestar, I guess that's the main thing. It's just not Polestar. It's, Apple was down big, and Apple's a big part of the SPX, the SPY and stuff. So just the whole market was down actually. So let's pull that up really quick. SPY, and we can look at the chart in just a second too. But SPY was down almost 2%, I believe. Yeah, 1.6%. That's 6 points. We closed at 400, and I think we did the live stream on Saturday, and we said we were bullish. once we broke 400, it does get more difficult, but we are in an uptrend. So we'll look at the charts in just a second. Let me see if I got anything else. So we covered why Polestar was down, basically. And yeah, just local residents started protesting, local fire, and then just after that just escalated. So I'm going to get rid of some of these articles. Let's talk about some bullish stuff though. They got the major milestones, right? And we've already talked about this, so maybe I don't need to talk about this, or you guys probably already know. But that's bullish right there. This was for October numbers, just came in 75% increase in plug-in car sales. So this is just something I wanted to, emphasize or just add that I know inflation and everything is difficult, but there is still an upper class and higher class, and people can afford some of these vehicles. So just kind of like, let's just think in an ideal world where inflation is not the main topic, uncertainty and stuff, then the adaptation of electric vehicles is there. It's definitely not going to be an expensive transition. I mean, in a cheap transition, it is going to be an expensive transition, but this is basically where we're trending to, basically based off some of these numbers. So just the big headlines are what I wanted to share with you guys there. And then there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Oh, funding. Yes, big funding. This came out early November. This was really bullish for me. I didn't really read all the details, but 1.6 billion in funding is huge. Oh fuck, who's calling me? Oh, that's the Brodies. Hopefully that doesn't come through. But basically Polestar is they only had like 600 or 900 million dollars, and they had a lot of debt, and they still need to do, I'm gonna have to turn my phone off. Let me do that real quick, because yeah, no, it's because my phone, it's kind of older and it doesn't let me put it on silent for some reason. But the funding, so the funding, they only had like 600, 800 million. I can pull that up actually. Polestar right here, statistics right here, we had like 1.26 billion in debt, about 900, 800 million in cash. So that's not going to be like, a lot of people don't want to invest in companies that aren't profitable or have a lot of debt on their balance sheet. And so 1.6 definitely covers most of their debt. Plus they have that 988, to continue growth. And not to mention, they also did those deposits for, what was the P5, the P6, the initial deposits for that. So I think that's good. And so they've got cash to go. And I know, well, Lucid's got a lot of cash too, right? But they're not delivering on numbers, right? So that's the main thing that differentiates Polestar from some of the other ones, right? Aside from Tesla, because the Tesla's good, but it is overvalued though at the price. Let's be real. But I would say this is what makes this a worthwhile riskier investment, but it kind of nullifies some of the risk because they do have cash. They have Volvo, although I was reading that Volvo did just horrendous on some of their earnings or some of their deliveries and stuff. So maybe Volvo itself is struggling, but Polestar on the other side is also kind of differentiating themselves from their models. So they are trying to split apart a little bit. So good and bad. No company's perfect. But yeah, I just wanted to go back and tell you guys about the funding if you guys hadn't known about it. I didn't read the details. So let's read those really quick. A total of 1.6 billion US capital. Two main shareholders. I think it's Volvo and then this Li Auto, I believe it was. Let me see where it's at. Volvo Lead Company, yeah, says it has significant funds till 2023 and remains laser focused on business execution and has around 70,000 on the road today. Very good stuff, and reach our goal of delivering 50,000 in 2022. So like I said, those vehicles I believe are already produced, so they just got to ship those out. So I don't think the disruptions are going to be big from the protests or anything like that. And they can also do a double shift. So sorry if I say things multiple times. It's just basically I want to make sure I get it through so people that skip through the video. But currently high financial need, right? So higher interest rates, it's better to go ahead and get the cash now before they need capital down the road. They're going to pay a higher interest rates to secure more fundings down the road. So it is better to get the financial funding now. They should have done it like, like a year ago when things were really cheap, but we can't predict for everything. So we're dealing with what we can. Let's read some of the numbers though. So Volvo providing 800 million with the 18-month term and a share conversion option. Okay, so this isn't very good for shareholders right now because there is going to be possibly some dilution. Another 800 is coming from the other major, PSD Investment, earned by Eric Lee, the chairman of both Volvos. Okay, so it's still within the family. That's good. But I don't like that share conversion option. It is an option though, or is it an option to option? Not sure. But they will most likely, we'll see how the management handles this, but there is a possibility of dilution. Let's just get that. So doesn't look too bad. Not sure how much interest or stuff they're paying right now, but we're like at 3 or 4, or at least by the end of the year. So that is what I want to cover there. I guess what's next is we should probably take a look at the charts. So let's just start off with the SPY. Last time we talked about this one, or what I was saying earlier, is we're technically still in an uptrend here. Oh, what the hell is that? Basically, what I was seeing is we're in an uptrend still. So technically bullish. We've got big data on Wednesday. We actually got Jerome Powell on Wednesday too. So those are things to definitely consider. Right now, what I look at is bearish momentum, but we are still technically bullish as long as we hold this trend. On the negative side though, we are kind of a double top, or it could be a head and shoulders that's forming. So if it is a head and shoulders, then we probably get one more leg up. But really just levels that I would be watching would be this one here, like 393, 390, 393, and then also just watching the ascending support. The reason I say we still have some more upside is because we do have this downtrend resistance, and we've really been, respecting, testing it. So every time we come down aggressively, we come back and re-hit it. So I think there's a little bit more upside. So that's going to be on just the generic market. And if the market does well, then Polestar, could do well. There's some days where market does bad and we hold well, and vice versa. But you tendently want the market to be good. So one of the scenarios, like I said, possible head and shoulders, and we could retouch that trend line, or just a double top. And if we break this right here, then we most likely come down here and fill the gap down here. So that's that, guys. But let's talk about so on the upside, I still see us maybe retouching here and then bouncing up and retouching that, and then we kind of figure out where we go from there. But let's talk about Polestar now. All right, Polestar. So last time we talked about this one, we were talking about it, I'm not sure here maybe. Let me just do a quick recap though. So what I did was we had this downtrend, and we did say we broke out of it. I think we were probably consolidating. There's a couple people that asked about it, and just the range that I saw was at like around this level here, and basically it's this here, and we finally broke out. And so my target was finding it through like a downtrend resistance similar to the SPY and stuff, and this is the trend line there. And so we basically went up and broke through it, but usually you want to come back, retest it, and if you can hold it, then that's bullish and you can continue onwards. But it actually broke underneath again, and so right now I'm thinking we probably come back and retouch like $6 again. And the reason I think that is because there's a possible inverse head and shoulders, but there's also possibly a cup and handle. We got the cup there, so I would expect maybe a cup and handle here, and that would probably be like there. So I would expect maybe a retouch of 650, or even 650. I think 650 is good. What do you guys think? 650, like around here, or 640, somewhere around here. But if we break under here, then probably going to come back down and fill the gap. Let me clear some of this stuff out. There's a cup and handle there. If we break underneath like the midway point, which is of the cup, then we'll probably come all the way back down and fill the gap right there, I would think. The other thing is we could be doing an inverse cup and handle. Oh wait, a head and shoulders, my bad. There's like a shoulder there, right? And so similarly, you know, we probably retouch that, and then we could maybe come back up, and that could be an inverse head and shoulders, and then we could break back out. But I think a lot of this has to do with how the market reacts to the data and stuff, and how things in China react to. Surprisingly, that's a new thing we have to add to our, you know, variables. So that's what I'm looking at. I am expecting more downside on Polestar. Maybe you know, take some profits here, and then rebuy some if it comes down a little bit more, I would say. Let's go to the daily time frame. We're technically still in a bullish momentum, down but bullish. But yeah, like on a bigger time frame, still expecting a retouch. And maybe I can point these out better. Let's just do that. Probably like from the daily close there and the daily close there. So the open to the close, so right there. And sorry if my things aren't correct. Yeah, so I think we come back and retouch that, and then we can definitely have that cup and handle possibly. And retouch this because we're in the middle and probably selling more after hours, but I would expect somewhere from 6 to 650 and see how we react there. Also watch the downtrend resistance, right? And then we could possibly form that inverse head and shoulders, which would be bullish, and then we could possibly go back up pretty far actually. So this would probably be like, let's just do some things real quick. And then, hey Joe, what's up? Mexico Joe, yeah, what's up, man? Remember, what's going on? It's been a minute. How you been? Still holding Polestar, still holding oil. So yeah, I haven't done a Polestar video in a while. It's just I see the news come out, but I don't want to make a video if, you know, there's not enough information out there. And then the market's just kind of been, let's be real, depressing a little bit. So, you know, if I don't want to give anybody the false hope that, oh, we're going to 20 or 30 right now, because a lot of circumstances have changed, just like economically and stuff. And so it's like, it's kind of scary, and I don't want my channel to be like, hey, this thing's gonna go, you know, 100%. Definitely was super fun to see it go from 4 to 6 or 7 and 8 to 100%. But well, I was buying some, but I did sell some here near the top, and then luckily, I mean, it kind of played out. I think what I want to do is kind of wait to see if we fill the gap. I want to retest $6 for sure. I want to wait to see how we react around this level here. You bought 400 shares? Oh, nice. I bought a few more. You used to have more shares, I thought. Did you sell some? I don't know, man. I think you sold some shares. No. But yeah, I didn't want to make any videos because just the economy has changed. Like, it's accelerated the events, and just it's just been brutal, honestly. So I don't want to tell anybody, hey, because the situation has changed for a lot of growth stocks, and it's more like value and stuff. So, you know, a lot of people aren't trying to buy unprofitable stocks. So I don't want to discourage anybody, but I also don't want to mislead anybody and tell them, you know, we're in euphoria, because it's definitely changed a little bit. So I think what people need to do is just try to raise money and, I don't know, try to day trade and stuff. But yeah, I remember this breakout. This was nice here. It just gapped up, but this was one of the main trends we were watching, and then it consolidated for a bit. We still had that big downtrend down here, and unfortunately it didn't hold, and now we've had, you know, pretty bad news. So I would be expecting this range down here, about 6 to 650, to retouch it, see how we can hold. If we break through here, then I'm thinking we're gonna fill the gap down here, because we do have a gap down here below. But how's everybody feeling? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat how you guys are feeling about just the market, SPY, Polestar, any other stocks you guys want me to cover. Just let me know. This is a gap here, so we're gonna add a GAP on there. Yeah, and put that there. So we have a gap. So that's something that definitely watch. For But like I was saying earlier, Polestar did secure some great funding. So that's great to see. So they can keep production up till 2023. And I know, like I was saying earlier, Lucid and them have a lot of cash, but they don't have the deliveries. They don't have the numbers to back things up. So that's why this one's in, I think, has a lower valuation. I think Lucid has came down a bit also, actually. So let me see. Yeah, see, it's crazy. They do have Saudi Arabia and everything, but yeah, it's different. Cover some oil. Yeah, we can do some oil. Are you technically bullish on oil? I'm bullish on Crotera. This one's one that I started buying down here actually. Oh, why do I have this in here? I started buying some down here. Some Crotera. This is natural gas, but natural gas and oil, cold winter. I think, you know, they're just using the media to suppress and manipulate oil and stuff. But I think, like, if you look at the numbers, where is it at? This was June. This is back here during the war stuff when the escalation. We're trading like at $23. This is just Crotera. We started running up huge, back up to like, let's just say, how much is this? Let's just say, let me move this out of the way, like 50%, right? Since the highs there when, you know, natural gas was bullish, which was, you know, just a bullish catalyst altogether. We weren't even in winter yet. It was up to like $35. Now where it really matters and natural gas should be important and stuff, we're down here, you know, barely, I mean, from 23 to like 25, 26, only like 14%. So this has been a nice retracement, and I think this is what I'm looking for, a pattern. We could look out for this downtrend. So natural gas, I'm bullish. I think you could also do UNG. Here, let me remove these two though. Okay, yeah, you can do UNG and oil. Bullish on oil and UCO. This is natural gas really quick. Yeah, so natural gas has a nice uptrend now, and really reclaiming and holding these levels up here. Above 20 is good. I mean, as long as we stay up here, I like it. A while ago we saw the inverse or the head shoulders up here, and I didn't want to believe it. But once it broke down, yeah, it was nasty. So this was all the way down to this level, and it basically came down to where we are, almost, yeah. So I do think the downtrend's over now, and they're basically working on an uptrend now. Let me remove some of these. This is natural gas. We'll talk about oil in just a second, and we can talk about some of the other electric vehicle companies, if you guys like to. XPIV reports earnings this week and stuff, so that's gonna be interesting. I actually bought a few lotto calls. I think they're gonna expire worthless. I just got them today, but I didn't realize the China stuff came out, so they might actually perform bad. But it's so cheap right now, XPIV. Like, it's just, I think it's like at $7 or something. So I wanted to play a couple options and see if it beats, because NIO did the same thing and it went up after earnings. This is natural gas though, and it looks like it got pulled back underneath the trend line. So I'll be watching to see if it can get back above here, which is actually a strong support right here, like $22. You can see the line there I got. And then, yeah, this is a strong support. So I would watch to see if it can get back above that. I think it's bullish though. It looks bullish momentum on the daily. So let's talk about US oil too, actually, since, where's it at? Yeah, US oil. Oh yeah, I do like oil. So we are at a critical support. I think we were talking about that a little bit last stream. We have a double bottom, possibly double top up here, and it basically already broke down, which was bearish, right? I guess hindsight. But this is the neckline there, and then it broke down. So we could see a little bit more downside, like 75 a barrel or something, which it looks like it came down to 73. But a long wick that's showing a lot of strength. There's like a lot of strength, people buying this up. So it's still technically bullish, I would say, oil. On the bigger time picture though, we have like a ascending support that we're trying to get up back under. Regardless, I think this could still technically be bullish if we can get above the support. So yeah, the double top right there, I guess we should have read that. Double top, neckline break. And then it was going to come down to like this level down here, right? The distance there. We're going to see if we can get back inside the ascending support there. And then we'll go from there with oil. I think that's all I have for the video. Let me run through Polestar really quick. And I think everybody left, so we're chilling. Yeah, so we're back underneath the trend. I would expect a retouch maybe of the $6 is what I'll be looking at. Technically still bullish. And let's see if there's an auto trend somewhere. Let's get the auto trend, see what we have on the auto trend. No, there's nothing there. On the daily maybe, 4 hour. No, there's nothing there. Okay. So I'm gonna wait for 6 to see if there's any trend that forms, any trend, and we can bounce off here. We could also technically, let me just remove all these lines. We could also do a Fibonacci. Let's see if the Fibonacci will work. So from the bottom and to the top. Yeah, we're at the 38. I would expect probably the 36. Yeah, so wow, that's even a little further down than $6, but we could do it from here actually. Okay, wow. So the Fibonacci, we're doing it from the breakout, and then it came down to the 38. We could possibly test like 6, which would make sense to me actually. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all we have. Bearish sentiment momentum right now. So I would probably expect that $6 retouch, and then we'll go from there. What are the other stocks I mentioned? Oh yeah, NIO and XPEV. Well, let's talk about XPEV first. Real quick, XPEV. I like XPEV to the upside. This is on the 1 hour. We are basically in a downtrend. We were in a downtrend and we broke out of it. Let me go to the daily to see this better. Daily downtrend. We had it like right here. We're outside of the downtrend, which is bullish for me. That's basically what I wanted to see. Right now, we're basically seeing if we can hold this level at 7 or 680. I would say. I'm not, these are just numbers I'm pulling out, but let's go to 1 hour chart real quick. Dang. Yeah, if we can hold above like 690, 685, I would expect maybe a higher low then after that, and we can go up this way. Right, but it's holding pretty strong. We are buying near the lows. This was the low down here. And hopefully this can make a higher low over here. That's what we'll be looking for. And that would actually indicate, since we got outside the downtrend and now we start, if we can get a nice bounce tomorrow, then you know, we could start running back up to almost $8 is what I would be looking for. That's what I'm looking at. And the reason I like this one for earnings, well, economically wise, I don't like them because of the lockdowns and stuff. But if they did like second shifts and everything like most of the other EV places did it, then their delivery shouldn't be bad. NIO. So this is what happened to NIO. Let me just clear this stuff out. For their last earnings, I think they missed on earnings, but they still moved up. See right here, they missed on some stuff, right? Surprise? Not really, but they closed at 9:30. They opened at 10:30. So about $1 moved to the upside, which is like 10 or 12%, I believe. This is NIO. This is the better China EV company, about 12%. So even on a miss, the stock was beat down so much that it moved up on earnings. So that's what I am looking for on XPEV. They've missed on, they're just so beat up right now that even on a miss, I mean, they could come down further, but I would expect a nice pop, maybe to $8, and then I would take my profits because I don't know if it would hold. So it's just a small position. I want to try it out, see if it works. And I've got an extra week on the options. The extra time doesn't really matter because the IV will crush it. So, but yeah, I like the downtrend break and then retesting to see if it can form higher lows. and we could possibly even hit, you know, nine almost $10. So that's like being optimistic for a double top there, or retouch of the highs. But, you know, conservatively, maybe we could do 8, and I would be happy with that, because there is a lot of consolidation here. We've got a lot of days where we just kind of stuck around here, and so that's going to be a strong resistance. And it's not even really 8, it's like 780, 8090, or 790, my bad. Yeah. All right. So what else do I got to talk about? I think that's all I have. Anybody have any questions? I think that's it. I'm not gonna keep this video too long. Just wanted to talk about Polestar. If you guys enjoyed all the content, help me out with a like, and appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are watching this one later, basically what we talked about was the China lockdowns actually caused a protest to go off, and just kind of tied up to Polestar's name, China is. So they're just worried about slowdown in production. So, and then we talked about the chart. And basically, I don't think they will stop the lockdowns, you know, right away, because then it would prove that the protests work, and it would prove the government's not in control of them, even though they're trying to control them by doing these lockdowns that, you know, maybe might not be needed. So that's all I got, fellas. Hope you guys have a great evening. Let me know in the comments, if you guys are watching this later, what you guys want to see, what kind of videos, what kind of stocks, or if I've been doing stock market updates, and I've been neglecting Polestar, but I still keep it on watch. And there's other stuff you guys want me to cover. I've been watching SoFi. I've been looking into SoFi too. I don't know if you guys want me to talk about SoFi. I low-key like it, but they have a lot of debt. SoFi has a lot of debt, and it's kind of scary. I did buy some shares, but not sure of how long I'll hold them. I might just try to flip them out. But they've got a lot of negative press right now. I don't like their balance. They've got like almost $5 billion in debt, with only 1.26 to cover it. So they have a lot of upside, but you know, high growth right now is very dangerous. At least that's what the media wants to say. But let me quickly just look at SoFi. So I should have known better. So let me tell you guys, I got my shares at 485. That's my price right now. That's where I'm at. Way early, right? So there's more selling. I still have them, but I'm not getting any options on it because it's too dangerous. I should have known once we broke this trend, and you can actually do the auto trend. The auto trend, you know, once this trend broke, I should have just known to cut it. I didn't see the auto trend, but damn. Anyway, I think this is the bottom, near the bottom, maybe temporarily, and maybe retouch. So if it was the bottom for now, it would be, I'm looking for a rebound to about $5. If this is the bottom, I'm looking for a retouch, maybe back up to like 508, somewhere around here. And then I'm just gonna take my profits. It's not gonna be much, but at that point I just want my money back. But I like this one. I like the potential with it. I really like the CEO, the Notoro or whatever his name is. I like him. He looks like he's got a head on his shoulders. That's good. So I'm excited for it. It's just interest rates. It's just Biden pushing stuff back, just a lot. But the stuff that they've been able to do even without, you know, their student loan revenue is pretty impressive, right? So. And yeah, there could definitely be more downside. I was drawing this stuff earlier. This low-key looks like a head and shoulders, something like that. But also it could be like a descending pennant, or a wedge, descending wedge. And that could maybe be like from here to here. So this could maybe be the bottom. Hoping it's maybe the bottom, maybe like 430, 435. Somewhere, maybe I'm thinking that's the bottom. And then the reason I like this one is because it reminds me of Polestar. Let's see, Polestar, when it came down to $4, it consolidated for a while, so we could still have a consolidation phase, but this thing, it started squeezing after. And so, I mean, this was, you know, just good earnings, and so that's why I like SoFi. It could maybe do that. They did really good on earnings, by the way, too. Like the earnings have six last earnings have been good, or their last 5 earnings at least have been good, and they're trading underneath all these earnings. So plus they have pretty good technology and stuff. But I'm gonna save this one for another day. Let me know in the comments what you guys want me to talk about in another video, or what you guys want me to cover. If you guys enjoyed or learned anything, good to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments. Just let me know how your day went. But that's it. You guys take care. I'm gonna see you guys next time, and keep moving forward. Peace. Oh, shout out to Joe for tuning in. See ya.